Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today we are talking about repetition and how it's probably one of the most unsexy parts of business, but gosh, does it work? Gosh, does it work? And we'll talk about why. We'll talk about something I created a couple of years ago that helped me create a fundamental system for not only my life and my business. And if you're new to my world, my name is Bridget Eileen Cisco. I'm the founder of Exalted Publishing House. I have a podcast, which is totally being revamped. I cannot wait to start bringing more guests on to talk about metaphysics, energy, vibration, quantum realm, all that kind of stuff. Cannot wait. And I also work as a sales and messaging strategist for female entrepreneurs. So let me just pull this up on my thingamabob. Okay, cool. We're here. And if you are here with me live, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please say hello in the comments. I do like this to be a little bit more back and forth so that we can chat and talk about it. So repetition, the way I want to talk about this is in terms of momentum that you are able to build in your business through repetition. And I believe all advertising, all marketing companies know this, that if they continue to drill down the same message out to their audience again and again and again, it becomes part of our understanding of the world. It becomes part of our understanding about that company, right? Think about companies with slogans that or little jingles that stay in our mind. It's the same thing for you and your business. But now you need to start to look at it as, how can I actually go forth and continue to repeat myself over and over and over again in a way that feels really expansive, that feels really good, and still allows me to share a message that is potent and powerful. At the end of the day, our words, our actions, our habits, our trust, all of these things build momentum in our lives. And to take us back a step, many, many years ago, I was deeply inspired by the book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olsen. And if you've known me for a while, I talk about this book all the time. And Jeff Olsen talks about something very simple. He talks about the daily habits that we do each and every day are either building or destroying our life. Something as simple as going to the gym every single day, right? It's not a big deal that we go to the gym once, but what happens when we go to the gym on Monday, then on Tuesday, then on Wednesday, then on Thursday? Maybe we take off on the weekends, and we keep going and keep going. So you have this ability to build momentum in your life, either in a constructive way, a creative way, or in a destructive way. Say that you go out drinking every single day. We think one day, not a big deal, but if you continue that over and over and over again. Now, I want to bring this idea into your business. So a number of years ago, I came up with this method, and I called it the magnetic momentum method. And it combined kind of 4 avenues of life and creation, as I called it at the time. So the first was your thoughts, and it was the mental loops that pervade the mind day in and day out. Every single moment, the thoughts that are going through your mind. The second part were the words and the spoken words that you spoke out into the world. You spoke to other people, you were having conversations about, because our words are a creative force. Our words hold so much potency. And actually, I think it's Shaman Durek who always says, spelling is a spell. We're able to cast spells in a way through our words. So we have to be conscious. The third avenue is our actions, our daily habits, the things that we are actually doing day in and day out. So as a business owner, this is not only you taking care of yourself, you going to the gym, you meditating, yada, yada, but it's also, okay, am I going to do an IG live? Am I going to send an email? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And it's this momentum that you build by doing the same little things day in and day out. And the last avenue of creation is trust. Trusting that if you have this big vision for your business, for your mission, for your brand, for your company, that it will be upheld. If you continue to do the things that are creative and are pulling you toward that place day in and day out, and maybe you're even using some form of kind of quantum flow or the ability to collapse timelines because that future vision isn't actually so far away, you're able to remember and trust that all is working out in divine timing. So that is the concept. And the concept is all of these 4 avenues of creation. So your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your habits, your trust that all is happening in beautiful divine timing. The things that you do every single day. And this is where we talk about repetition. And Jeff Olsen in The Slight Edge talks about this as well. He talks about, it's the small mundane things that are easily overlooked that actually build up over time and have the ability to create massive, massive change in our lives. So you as the business owner, I want you to start first by thinking, the thoughts. So if you are, say that you set a goal, you want to sell out a program, or you want to speak on a stage, or you want to build your email list to 500 people, and you set this goal, but you are not sitting in that big vision. You are not holding the energetic container for that day in and day out. You are not strengthening your mental capacity to move beyond the constructs of society or others' opinions. We have to be able to step into this space of observing the mental loops that are going through our mind day in and day out, and then being able to say, oh, I'm going to redirect, I'm going to come back to center, I'm going to hold the big vision again and again and again and again. And I've done this with a lot of my business, a lot of the ways that I have been able to sell out programs, a lot of the ways I've been able to achieve some of my goals, right? Starting a podcast, interviewing, I think it's over 60 people now, probably 100 in total, with a past interview series as well, is I've been able to sit in that big vision and hold that every single freaking day. And I hope the same for you. Okay, let me just pull this up in here. All right. Oops. I just liked my own video. Okay. Life's so funny. All right, so the second part of this is your words. So we had a call this morning with the Success Codes authors, and we talked about, one of them shared that they forgot how powerful and potent their words were. And this is such a reminder for you. So you as the business owner, you have the ability to really redirect consciousness through your words. So this is why I have a podcast. This is why I help people with sales, messaging, speaking. This is why I create multi-author books and help people create their own books. Because I know that if we can create and produce these words out into the world in a way that is constructive for humanity, a lot of things can change in the most beautiful, beautiful way. So you start to observe what's the spoken word? How do you speak about yourself? How do you speak about your goals? Is there any thinly veiled negativity within that exercise for yourself? And if you struggle to speak about your goals because people don't support you, we'll get a new group of friends. I'll be there for you. Now, the third part is the part that typically as business owners, we focus on the most, right? The action. So this would be, okay, I'm going to write 5 posts. I'm going to schedule all my emails. I'm going to make 5 reels. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And these things are still so crucial and so important because you're going to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. So do not think that everything I see in life and business is momentum building or destroying. So if you every single day you are showing up on live video, every single day you are sharing a post that empowers your people, that moves your community, that deeply inspires them, that builds momentum. And that type of repetition then becomes embedded within those who you want to serve and help, because then they start to remember and recognize who you are, what you stand for, and what type of vision that you are holding through the action that you are taking. So you're really able to create this movement and this momentum through your actions in your business. It's very exciting. And lastly, trust. This goes on to more of that spiritual side, kind of leaning in, the surrender. We've all had that experience. And now the power here is that we don't give up. We keep repeating, we keep going, we keep knowing that we were put on this earth for something big, for a reason. There's a reason that we are called to the work that we are doing right now. And if we continue to show up in that way, gosh, so many amazing things will happen. And this is what I've been thinking about with this next book, Lineage Speaks. I love the subtitle. Women Healing Generations Past, Present, and Future. So amazing. So the women who have joined this project and projects in the past with me, they know that they have a message to share. And now they are doing everything in their power to continue sharing that message in different ways, in new ways, in unique ways, beyond just social media. Because we know that our words matter. So when we speak, when we write a post, when we write a book that becomes published that someone then reads, and we keep doing that, we keep infusing this message out into the world. And I reminded my authors today that this message, we're not sharing messages that are fear-mongering. We're not sharing messages that are disempowering people. We're doing quite the opposite. So this work is needed now more than ever. And I'm here to hold the energy and the frequency of those who want to elevate to this place of understanding repetition isn't sexy, but it's a great part of your business, of understanding that you have the power and the control to create momentum in your business through repetition, through continuing to show up for yourself, for your community, for your mission, and doing that in new and beautiful ways, and discovering those ways as you go, and learning and growing in all of the things. So this is what I'm doing in my own life. This is what I do with my clients. And this is absolutely what we're doing with Lineage Speaks. It's absolutely what we did with Legacy Speaks, and that will continue to grow. It's absolutely what we're doing with Success Coach, the second book, and now Lineage Speaks, the third book. So I've been feeling a real pull to share more of these practices with you all, these teachings, because this is how I started online. I was more a spiritual teacher where I got to share just fundamental wisdom and teachings that I had picked up and I had learned that I felt were so impactful. And I felt like you needed to hear them too. So I'm going to be infusing more of this in my lives. This is already a part of my work, but I want to share this with the masses because I know that we need healing on this planet. I know that we need empowerment on this planet. I know that we need community on this planet. And if you are feeling like you are challenged or you're feeling overwhelmed or confused with the current happenings in the world, just know that we can't solve something with the same energy that was brought into it. We need to completely shift and move beyond the consciousness that is currently and create a whole new way of being, living. And that's what we're here to do. So join me on the mission. Join me in the next book, Lineage Speaks. I'm currently accepting applications and welcoming some incredible women into this project. We'll be writing a chapter of this book coming out in December. Thank you all so much, and just have a beautiful day ahead. See you later.